Hello, I'm David.
Hi, I'm Julie.
So now we're going to do a review of Tavern Tales, Legends of Dungeon Drop, where stories become legends. Now it's ages 14 and up, 20 minutes, and it's 2 to 5 players. Now the 2-player version involves bluffing. Both versions are set collection games. But the 3 to 5 player game does not have any bluffing in it. And so this is in the Dungeon Drop universe, which is a game that you drop cubes and then you gotta create rooms with it. We'll be doing that on camera eventually.
It's kind of confusing.
Yeah, but that's okay. You got it. So we're going to go over the 2-player version here, and then I'll explain some differences with the 3, 4, and 5-player version. So it's a set collection game. So you see all the different cards that you can acquire. And you acquire these cards by sending your heroes into this dungeon, that dungeon, this one, or this one. And what can happen is that if I say Isham is going to collect 2 cards, you're going to be 3 cards in each column here. Isham can get 2 of those, and Julie might say, no, it was my hero, but her hero will be face down. So I either have to call her bluff or play another card face down. I could be bluffing her, or it could be somebody that's matching the dungeon. Let's say I call her bluff. Well, she did play the correct person, and she will get the cards that I was going after. But let's say, okay, let me get a different card here. Let's say I didn't have enough of these cards with that color on it. Julie wasn't bluffing, and I'm going to bluff her. I'm going to say, it was my person. So then she calls my bluff, and she sees that I did not have another matching card, so then she would win the feat anyway. But let's say she had played this one, I call her bluff, and then I would win the feat. So as a set collection, your first pink gem that you get is worth 1 point, but as you get more, I'll show them real quick here, you can see the more pink gems you get, the more points they're worth. And it's the same thing with the blue gems. And this symbol right here tells you how many there are in the draw pile. And then you can get the Royal Quest, which is interesting about the Royal Quest is there's 7 of these cards. The first 4 you can get 10 points, but then if you get a 5th one, it's worth less points, all the way down to 1 if you get all 7. Now gold starts out not worth a lot, but then and that's what you get for each one you collect. It's worth 1 point. The second one you get is worth 1 point. The third one you get is worth 6. Fourth one you get is worth 6. And then here you got the dragon egg. You only want 1 of these because any more that you get, it's going to be worth minus points. Here is the treasure chest. And this is one of those sets where you want to get the second one, but don't get a third one. Well, it's not negative at least, but it's still worth something. You definitely want to get two of them, and then maybe even 4. And then you have monsters, just like in the Dungeon Drop game, the Mimic. So this is where you can get negative points, the second one you get, or the 4th one, or the 6th one. The dragon's worth 5. There's only 1 of those. You see there in the upper left-hand corner. Now, what that means, you get 2 prestige points or draw 1 feat. That means you draw a random card from the deck right here. Okay, that could be a good thing or a bad thing, because if you drew, for instance, another mimic, it can make you lose points. Now, this is nice. It's worth 2 points or added to a gem stack. So that's how Julie did so well in the How to Play and Playthrough. She was able to get 1 of these. And so that, say you only had 1 clear gem, but you get the crystal golem. Now the crystal golem is worth 4 points. And if I were to get another clear gem or another crystal golem, it would be worth 6. The troll's worth 4. Only worth 2. The golem's worth 3. Now there are some unique items here. So this is a nice one. We haven't gotten this one yet. It's worth 2 points or 2 per unique monster. So there's 6 monsters, so it could be worth up to 12 points. And then you have the relic. There's only 4 of them, but if you were able to get all 4, that's 16 points. Actually, that would get you 30 points. If you would get all 4 relics, that's 30 points.
That'd be good.
Then you have some special abilities or one-use items. And you can pause it and read it there. They help you get things in adjacent dungeons.
So it helped me.
Yeah, it helped Julie, that's for sure. Okay. So very thematic in that regard. And then the characters that you're playing
are so cute.
So this is how many feats. That's how many of these cards you can claim that are in a dungeon. So you can only go in one dungeon. There's no choices here. This specialist, if you're going to start a claim, has to go into the Infernal. Okay, doesn't mean I can't use her to bluff if Julie went into the ice caves, for instance. Okay, but if I'm going to start a claim, she has to start here, and there would be 3 face-up cards here. And what I would say is, Isham went down into the Infernals and found a pink gem and a treasure chest. Now, if I win the claim, I'll get those 2. If Julie wins the claim, she'll get the 2 that I was going after. Okay. So you'll see there's different characters. Oops, wrong screen. So this is a special one here. This is an optional rule. You don't usually play with this in the if you're going to play it the first time. But in the 2-player game, you just this elite can go in any dungeon. If you're playing with 3 or more players, you can use the special ability. So this adds some more variety. I just want to show you some of them here. So again, here's a specialist. I can get 2 feats in a dungeon. Now the wood elf can only get 1 feat, but it can go in 2 different dungeons.
Same with the boblin.
Same with the boblin, yeah, or the gear golem. So this is where you'll keep track. This side is the normal way to play. In the 2-player one, you have these abilities. There's only 2 boards you can use in the 2-player one. One gives you a goblin in the beginning for 3 prestige points, and then the other one gives you a special ability, a special card, one of those 3 cards I showed you. Now, one thing you see here in the 2-player game, if you have 15 or less prestige points, you will draw up to 5. You'll draw after every claim, you're going to draw up to 5, and then you'll discard 1. However, when you get past 15, you just draw up to 4 and don't discard. So it limits your ability to make your deck, your hand better. So this is a little bit of a catch-up mechanic here. In a 3, 4, or 5-player game, you can only have 4 cards when you take a think and drink action. In the 2-player game, you don't do that. So in a 3, 4, or 5-player game, you can say, I'm going to think and drink, and you'll draw cards. You'll draw 3 cards, and then discard 1. You'll combine it with your hand, and you have to discard at least 1. And then if you have more than 4 cards, you'll discard down to 4. But when you have 16 or more prestige points, you draw 3 cards, but then you'll still discard 1 from your hand. You'll combine those cards with your hand, and then you have to discard down to 3. So you can only have a max hand size of 3 in a 3, 4, or 5-player game, and a max hand size of 4 when you are up less than 15. Now the other ones that you can get, see, you can't play these with a 3, 4, or 5-player game, but again, you don't have to play with these special abilities. You can just play a regular scoring board. So hand size is a little bit different in the 2-player game and versus the 3, 4, or 5-player game. You could also just play a regular game where you don't have these special rooms. So this has a variety as well. Mm-hmm. So the first time we played, we didn't play with any of these special room cards. You have the caverns, ice caves, mine shaft, inferno, and catacombs, and everything is going to be face up, like this. You're going to put them right here, face up. And I'm just going to do this real quick for time's sake, okay? Usually it'd make it look a little bit better. But if you had this option, you mix them up, and you put down 3 of them in random dungeons. So this would change the setup here. This is the normal setup. So say caverns, you're only going to use 3 of these. And I just do this one, this one, and this one. I mean, you could do here, here, and here if you wanted to. But for instance, perilous prison. So now specialist heroes can only start a claim for 1 feat. So you're only going to be able to get 1 card every time you go here, which is not great. Mm-hmm. And then there would be an additional card here in the setup. Okay. And then let's say you had this one here, the vast vault. Again, 4 cards. And this one here says, must have 2 unique monster kills feats to start a claim. Doesn't mean Julie can't jump on board and try and steal it from me, say I was really me. But if anybody's going to start a claim here, you have to have at least 2 monster kills. And that one also has 4 cards. Now the other ones, there is a lot more variety than what you saw there. So, got the diamond doorway. Claim may be started, including feats from adjacent rooms. That means you can get cards that are adjacent, gives you more flexibility. So 2 above, 2 on the bottom, which limits your ability. You're either going to get these or these. So you might have a card you really want here and a card you really want there, but you can only claim either the top or bottom. You can't do both. And then here, you must go in order. So again, it could be a situation that you really want this pink gem, but you don't really want this, but you have to claim them in order. And to do that, you would have to have played a person that can get 2 feats. If you played the gear golem, you're getting the treasure chest for sure with that card. Oops. Keep on doing that.
It's okay.
And then here, Diabolical Den. Monster feats must be claimed first. Ah, that's a cool one. Now these are face down, so that's a little bit of a mystery here. Just like Dio, it's only a mystery. And so you'll you'll just say, I want these 2 cards, and you'll flip them up if you win the claim, and hopefully it's something you want. Now this one here, is that upside down?
No, you're right.
Gain 1 prestige for
Winning a claim.
Winning a claim. Okay. So 1 is face down, 2 face up. And then here, Luminous Laboratory, 3 face down. So you shuffle them and look at them and you get to choose. The reason why you shuffle them is because someone could remember what the order if you didn't shuffle them. So the last difference between a 2-player, a 3, and a 3 to 5 player game is, let's say, and this is the important difference here. I say, Isham is going after these 2. Okay, I put it right here. Julie says, I don't believe you. It was my guy that did that. Now her card could match or not match. So now it would be I would have to call her bluff. Or say, no, it was my guy, and my person could match or not match. Oops, wrong card. Okay, so I could call her bluff, or I could bluff her or play a real card. Now, I say, it was my person. So she calls my bluff, and she'll say, yeah, it matches. Even though the gear golem only has 1 feat, it's the original feat that determines how many claims you get. So I would get these 2. Let's say I call Julie's bluff. I didn't have another card to play, or I just don't believe her. She was bluffing, and I win the claim. And so the person that loses the claim to the left, and this person, in this case, a 2-player would be the player who lost, would go next. Now, what's the difference between the 3, 4, and 5-player game? I play mine. Julie would be like, no, it was my person, and it has to match. It's face up. David could pass, our son. It comes back to me. So mine would be face down to show that Julie's winning that. I would have to play a card, say I do, and now Julie's would go face down. Julie could pass. David says, you know what, I'm going to get, even though he passed before, maybe he just passed just to make us play cards. And he plays his card. So now he's winning it. I don't have any more cards. I pass. Julie didn't have any more cards. She was really passing. And then our son David ended up winning. So there's no bluffing in this version. The only reason why you put them face down is just to show who's winning. The difference, though, is that, again, you have to take an action to draw new cards, whereas in the 2-player game, you always get your hand size, basically, at the end of it. So that's how you play. First to 30 prestige points wins.
So now we're going to give you our pluses, our minuses, and our neutrals. And then after we've done that, we will tell you how we rated it on the BGG scale, and I get to go first.
Here we go.
Here we go. All right. This is a really fun set collection game. It's super, super cute art, which makes it fun to play because everything's just so cute. What I love is it plays fast, and it plays different, as David was explaining, with 2 and 3 players, or 3 and 5 players. There is a difference, so it's kind of fun. So you get to mix it up a little bit. The components are really nice. The little beer meeples, I guess. I don't know. Beer
the
things
tiles are thick.
Yep.
They fit in nicely, and these aren't. They fit in nicely in
They
here.
do.
I mean, you can play this side where you don't put them in at all.
Right.
Okay.
I like the the variety. Yeah. It's just such a great game. And then last but not least, it's a good filler game. So because it does play so darn fast, you could play this and then go like, okay, let's play, blah, blah, blah next. And you're like, okay, because I still have a lot of energy because this didn't take so long.
I think it took longer to explain the game with all the
It did.
options than for us to play it. So
It really did.
It says, what was it, 20 minutes? It could be done in 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I would add is that the doing the numbers, the scores, that does get a little tricky. And I just realized that more when we played this on camera, that I definitely needed more help than I thought I did beforehand.
Well, that's because of your cognitive issues.
That'd be the only neutral, I would say. It's not a negative, it's just a
But
neutral.
for a young person, they would need help too.
Yes.
All right, so let's see my points here. It's fun, light, and quick set collection filler game. So I got all those adjectives in there.
Okay.
Okay, so cute art, we agree on that.
Yes.
Remember, we come up with these on our own, separately.
Yep.
We don't consult with each other. Decent components. The reason why I say decent, I didn't say outstanding components, is that, the cardboard's good, okay, and the wood pieces are nice. It's just the cards. They could have did a better card style. They're decent. If they did a linen cards, which is basically foil stamping over the top, that would have made it in the category of outstanding. Okay, so it's decent. The only thing, like I said, is that they could have did a little bit better with the cards. Optional rules adds variability, which is really important, because if it was just a basic, everything is with no special rooms and no drinks here.
I think it get kind of boring.
Yeah, it would be a really boring game. Okay, so it's good that they had that option. And then it's a neutral for me. 2-player and 3 to 5 player modes play differently. I'm not too sure which one I like best, because I do like the bluffing of the 2-player one. And I wonder if it would work with the 3 to 5 player game. Obviously, they play tested it, and for some reason they didn't put it in the 3 to 5 player rules.
Right.
So maybe it doesn't work, and that's why it's not there. I just know that when we played it with 3 players, it was fun, not doing the bluffing. It was. Because then it became more of a hand management game. Do I really want to challenge this claim here and then not have enough cards? Because then I got to take a turn to get more cards. So it plays differently than the 2-player bluffing one, because I might just play a card face down that doesn't match just to try to trick Julie.
Yep.
And you're going to get more cards anyway. So there's a lot more tricking going on than the 2-player one. But that's why I'm neutral. I'm not too sure which one I like better. I'll play them both. And again, here's one, difficult to open box. So the box did start warping here, and Julie would have a hard time opening this. Now it's getting back into shape, but it was very, I guess, tilted. And so I think that a young person or someone with your hands, with arthritic hands, they could have a hard time opening this. Okay, so you got to have some hand strength. So that's my negative. I understand why they do this, because it's based on dungeon drop and it's dice, but they got to consider that some people might have a hard time opening it. So a minor negative. All right, so let's see our BGG rating.
Okay. Woo, we both said very good.
Yeah, we didn't know we were going to say that.
No.
And somebody would say, wow, you rated it really high. Well, you got to take into account that this game does what it's set out to do. It's a filler game. It's supposed to be light and quick, and it does it great.
Yep.
It's not supposed to be a complex game.
No.
And so, being an 8, we will take this out and show people and play this.
Oh, definitely.
This will be on our list to play when we don't want to think too hard and just play a quick game. And,
I never want to think hard.
and with 5 players, I would like to try that. So this is at the top of the list. We have thousands of games.
We do.
This will be in a pile that we will play more often than not.
Yep.
It will hit the table more often.
Yeah.
If it was a 6, it would be only if we're in the mood, and a 5, we'd probably put it in our sell pile.
Probably.
I don't think it's going to hit a 9 or a 10 unless they come out with expansions. So I think this game would benefit from having expansions, and I hope they do that. But it depends on sales.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the Kickstarter did that great. Oh. And then aftermarket sales, not many people are talking about it. It's not well rated right now. But if you really want a light kind of a party game,
this is a great one.
and you can tell stories.
Yep.
I would consider getting this.
It would probably be fun to have like adult beverages while you're doing this too.
Yes, I agree. That would be fun to do that too. But I can't do it on camera because of the morality clause.
I could. but
Yeah,
he
you
couldn't.
can. You can. We'll be getting Heroes of Arcadia soon. So we'll be playing that drinking game. Julie will be drinking.
I'll
and
be
all,
drinking.
But I won't be. All right, anyway. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.
And please remember to subscribe and like, and we
Yeah.
will see you in the next video.
Catch you later.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.